Will a strategic crypto reserve in the US encourage business Bitcoin adoption?
Well, I sincerely hope it's going to be a Bitcoin reserve and not a crypto reserve, because yeah, we don't have time to go into that, but I definitely think it will. I think the legitimacy of the U.S. government putting their stamp of approval on Bitcoin just makes it okay in the eyes of average people that need that authority to give the kind of the green light to it.
Keep 'em cold till I'm old. I don't plan to blow my load. Wallet so blue, if you know, you know. It's better than bonds, better than gold. Finna reap up what I sow. Fit money can't keep up, it gets sold. How many times you been told? DCA's the way to go. Higher highs, higher lows. Every year my network grows. Every day my network grows. Running relays, running nodes. Yeah. Dollar a day's a minimum. Stats, zap sats. Any fear I get, flipping 'em.
21 questions in 10 minutes. It's a separate segment, so Daniel, I will ask you, please reintroduce yourself to the audience.
Well, my name is Daniel Frank. I'm the founder of Sovereign, which is a Bitcoin educational and consulting company where we help companies understand how Bitcoin fits into their financial strategies and operations and whatnot.
Very nice. So we just had a nice interview, and unexpectedly, we did speak about Bitcoin internationally on an individual level as well as on a business level. So that's was really nice. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you.
It was a really good discussion. I really enjoyed it.
So now we're going to do 21 questions. The goal is to get through 21 questions in 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes have elapsed, I will stop the timer.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily about it's not test your knowledge per se, but it's an exercise to see how concise you can be in your answers.
Interesting.
And I've started adding little graphics so when people watch, they can have a visual to accompany the answer as a means of understanding Bitcoin a little bit better, or the social aspect of Bitcoin, how it's operationalized.
Excellent. It's a great challenge. I have a tendency to yap, so let's see if I can keep it on point.
Okay, so the timer is set to 10. It was set to 10 minutes, but I just hit something. Let's do this again. There we go. The timer is set to 10 minutes. And I will ask the first question and then I'll launch the timer.
Perfect.
All right. And it's asked in random order too.
Oh,
Kind of flip-flop.
interesting. Let's go.
Okay. Are you ready, Daniel?
I'm ready.
First question. What does your family think about Bitcoin?
Actually, at this point, I've managed to orange pill pretty much all of them, at least my close family, both my mom and my dad. My brother, it's going to take a while, but my girlfriend as well, so I'm very fortunate in that way.
Bravo. Why is Bitcoin a better investment than real estate?
In 20 seconds. Well, real estate is a physical building existing in physical reality with physical costs and physical risks, and Bitcoin is just the perfected form of digital capital that has none of those constraints and also is demonetizing real estate for that very reason. I hope that makes sense.
You practiced. Besides Bitcoin, what should wealthy individuals and businesses be paying attention to?
Oh, that's easy. Besides Bitcoin, the most important thing to pay attention to is AI, because that's the two driving forces of what's happening. I mean, very, very soon there's going to be an AI that's smarter than all of us, and we have to come to terms with that. It is going to happen like 3 years max, I think.
The year is 2030. Large publicly traded companies still do not hold Bitcoin on their balance sheets. What is their fate?
Man, what is their fate? I don't know if I'm the judge of that, but if you intend in only 5 years haven't adopted Bitcoin, it's probably a good chance you're going to be a zombie company, and you're probably not going to be traded as highly as you are now, because I think people are going to realize that companies on a Bitcoin standard just perform better. That sound money is better than unsound money. guess would be my take.
Who provides the best contrarian Bitcoin takes, in your opinion?
I think that would have to be somebody like Jesse Myers, who is a big Bitcoin bull, but he's often very down to earth and not getting overextended and promising millions of dollars of Bitcoin in like 3-6 months. I think he's very sane and very down to earth in that sense.
He's at Croesus on Twitter, right?
Yes, Croesus BTC, something like that, I think. Yeah.
The year is 2030. Bitcoin is $1 million. How has your life changed?
Well, hopefully have a better financial situation and not thinking about driving everything into Bitcoin. At that point, you maybe feel a bit more comfortable and able to kind of live a more dream life, I guess. But I don't think a lot of things will change, actually.
How long before Christine Lagarde and the European Central Bank changes its stance on Bitcoin?
Yeah. I guess the question is, are the dinosaurs going to get extinct by the meteor, or are they going to kind of move out the way? I kind of fall on the former. I don't think they're going to change unless it's in their own interest to do so. But Bitcoin is the antithesis of everything they stand for, so I doubt they're going to change their tune on that.
What is Sovereign?
So Sovereign is a Bitcoin-only firm that is focused on helping business owners and CFOs and anybody else understand how Bitcoin fits into their company. So we provide free education, content, podcast, newsletter, all that. And then if anybody wants to work with a professional to integrate Bitcoin into their business, we help them with that.
Will a strategic crypto reserve in the US encourage business Bitcoin adoption?
Well, I sincerely hope it's going to be a Bitcoin reserve and not a crypto reserve, because we don't have time to go into that, but I definitely think it will. I think the legitimacy of the US government putting their stamp of approval on Bitcoin just makes it okay in the eyes of average people that need that authority to give the kind of the green light to it.
Do users need to understand how Bitcoin works under the hood?
No, I don't think so. We did discuss this in the interview. I think people will be perfectly served with having Bitcoin on layer 2, layer 3, whatever, integrated in all the things they love in their apps, in their daily life. But most people are not going to understand how it works. Even I know a lot of things about Bitcoin, but I couldn't tell you everything, so I don't think it's necessary.
Who would you most like to see adopt Bitcoin?
Well, as a Bitcoin for Business guy, I want to see a huge publicly traded company do it. I want to see the Microsoft, the Amazon, the Apple, something like that. That would literally speed up Bitcoin adoption more than anything at this point, I think. Because we've heard countries, we've heard all this, but we have not seen a giant Fortune 500 company do it like that. I would love to see that.
How long should a business wait, on average, before seeing the benefits of holding Bitcoin on its balance sheet?
Well, as always, you got to have a minimum 4-year horizon with Bitcoin. I think that's very healthy. I think depending on where we are in the cycle, whatever, you might. The thing is, you might have bought Bitcoin at 90K, then it went to 105, and you feel like a genius, and then it's back at 80, and then so you gotta dismiss that. You gotta just look into the future. But it's compounding at about 50% annual growth rate, so you don't have to wait that long.
Why is Bitcoin a better investment than AI stocks?
I guess my angle on that would be AI stocks sound like a good idea, but how do you know which one of them are going to win? It's majority of them are not going to win, and it's the same with Bitcoin versus crypto. You say you don't know which one is going to win. Well, Bitcoin has already won. So it's like by investing in Bitcoin, you invest in every valuable thing built on top of Bitcoin. Where if I could just invest in AI itself, even though that doesn't make sense, I'd rather invest in that than the applications on top of it, because I don't know which one is going to be the winner. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, excellent answer. Why would a business want to include Bitcoin?
For the same reasons as everybody else. Bitcoin is fantastic for your balance sheet, has great returns, great liquidity, it's a great marketing tool. Just the fact that you put it on your balance sheet, you accept it, you immediately drive new business to you, and it helps combat inflation.
Where should a person new to Bitcoin first focus their attention with respect to education?
That is actually hard to say. I mean, definitely start with finding a good Bitcoin only person, something like your podcast. Start with the basics. Start with a good book like the Bitcoin Standard, something like that, to understand the problem. Once you understand the problem Bitcoin is trying to solve, that's the way you wanna go about it.
How do you, Daniel, stay humble?
I don't think I have a lot to be prideful about it at this. Well, pride cometh before the fall, or whatever you say. I don't actually know. I try to be just a kind person, and I hope as in the future perhaps we'll get more wealthy through Bitcoin. I hope it doesn't change us, because money doesn't bring out the bad in people, it just brings out who you truly are. I genuinely believe that.
What are the risks of MicroStrategy's current Bitcoin play?
Yeah, I love that question. I obviously can say, oh, they might be over levered or they this and that. I think the biggest risk is just the person risk of Michael himself. Not that he does something, but that he disappears. If he died tomorrow, MicroStrategy would be toast. Like, there's no doubt about it. Even if they could recuperate, just the fact that that leader went away, it would send shockwaves, because he's the leader, he's Magellan, so he needs to be there.
Yeah.
At least for now, I think.
Who do you find most inspirational in the Bitcoin space?
That's gotta be Lynn Alden for me. I just
nice.
love her so much, love her to death. I think it's the most perfect person to have as the bridge between TradFi and Bitcoin. She bridges both worlds. She's not overly crazy or zealous, but she's also not too conservative Bitcoin. She really understands it, and just somehow has a way of just getting along with everybody. Just love her personality. I wish I had her charm and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How do you offset the echo chamber on Bitcoin Twitter?
I don't know the answer for that. I think we're all trying to figure that out. My goal with Sovereign was to try to speak to pre-coiners, to people outside the echo chamber, because it's very clear when you're communicating, if you're talking to somebody that already understands Bitcoin or somebody that doesn't. Man, I knew it.
The thing is we got to, like, it's so easy and conversational that I confess that I didn't sort of add that sense of urgency. You know, when I asked you the questions, I calmed down. So,
how many did we get through?
So I asked you this one, or did I? If Bitcoin didn't exist, how would you preserve your wealth? So this was the next question up to bat, and then there was one more after that, which was, when did you realize that it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin only? So 2.
Well, that was pretty good. I think that was almost there. I love that you got them printed out too. That's cute.
Yeah, totally. Because I like to, I'm still very tactile and I like to touch things and stuff. And I don't have a lot of time. So in preparing, like, I conceptualize, I type it out, I send it out to you, to my guests. And then before the interview, it forces me to slow down and just to sort of think about who I'm speaking to and what it's about. So, yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for answering 21 questions. I think Joe McGee got to 18, I want to say. And I think Ed got through all 21.
Wow. That's impressive. It's not easy. Especially
No,
because we're not just talking about gardening. We're talking about Bitcoin, which is so complex. And I feel like even the answers that I did give are very vague.
Yeah.
But I hope it was good.
Yeah, it was good. And someone will see it and they'll say, "Oh, what is this about?" You know what I mean? So it's like just the beginning of a thread that they can pull on. So hopefully they find it
Absolutely.
helpful. Well,
I
Daniel,
certainly hope so.
thank you for your time. And it was a real pleasure to meet you and to interview you and to exchange thoughts and ideas with you. Thank you.
Likewise, to anybody that want to come on the show, this was really fun. It was really enjoyable, and you gave me a good time by being a great host. So I appreciate this.
Oh,
This is
cheers.
fun.
Thank you so much.
Keys, 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 keys. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man like Quakes. Man like who? Yeah. Takes her Bitcoin off exchanges under self-custody. She runs her own node, providing liquidity. Yeah, she got her own keys. She got her own keys. She got her own keys. Yeah, she got her own keys. 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 Yeah, she got her own keys. Keys, keys, keys.